Eh,
Hello, everybody. We are back again. It is the Agents at Helm. It is me, Lorenzo. I'll be your host for the evening, and with me we have Joe. Say hello, Joe.
What's up, people?
And say hello, Malik.
Yo, what's good?
And I'd like to welcome Johanna. She is the newest member of the Agents at Helm. Anybody that listens to us on a regular basis should know her by now. Johanna, really quick, can you hit everybody up with all of our social media? Let people know where they can reach out to us and contact us when they feel the urge.
Sweet. So there's agentsofhelm.com. Has the podcast, it has articles, it has our Twitter feed. We've got a Facebook, a Twitter, a Pinterest, and a Tumblr. Under the username Agents of Helm, you can find us on iTunes, leave us a review, we'll read it out loud, we'll sing you poems, and many other different things. And individual Twitter shout-outs, I'm at Inky Octopus. Lorenzo?
You know what? Let's hold off on the individuals. Agents at Helm, that's the main theme. Any kind of social media, just Agents at Helm. Right, Joe? Agents at Helm?
Agents of Helm.
All right, so today we're going to jump right into the show. We're going to keep things moving on the quick tip. I'm really excited about the show today. We're doing the food show. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the food show. If anybody's ever seen The Splendid Table, I think that's what it's called. Johanna, are you familiar with that show?
No.
NPR,
Never heard of it.
Yeah, NPR. I do enjoy a little NPR from time to time. The Splendid Table, I think is what it's called. They talk about food. Joe is familiar with the Saturday Night Live sketch, Sweaty Balls. That's the one with what's his name, Joe?
Alec Baldwin.
That's right, good old Alec Baldwin. I think they're kind of ripping off of that whole concept. And today we're going to do our own version, Agents of Helm style. That means high entertainment, low morals. So we're going to be looking at it from a slightly skewed perspective, and we're going to dive right in. Malik, here is the situation that I want you to fill us in on. You go to Costco to stock up your fallout shelter. You do have a fallout shelter, don't you, Malik?
Of course, we all do.
You need to buy enough stuff at least to last you at least 5 years, but you have limited funds. After calculating, you see you can do it, but you're going to have to buy super bulk, meaning you're going to be eating the same 5 non-perishable ingredients, plus we're going to give you 5 spices for the next 5 years. What are they?
5 non-perishable ingredients. So, when I was single, before I got into my current situation, when I was single.
Current situation.
Yes, my current situation. That's what we call it. That's what I call marriage. It's just a situation. Situation. It's not, But before that happened, living as a single man, you learn to live off of things like non-perishable ingredients, mainly because you're not cooking on a regular basis. So you learn to live off of things that do not go bad. So the 5 things that I remember keeping in this house, in my home, on a regular basis: Captain Crunch. I would definitely have 5 years worth of Captain Crunch.
Peanut butter?
No, Crunch Berries.
Oh, Crunch Berries.
Oh.
That's
Crunch Berries.
All right.
Gotta keep the Crunch Berries in there.
Gotcha.
The second thing would definitely have to be vegetarian baked beans. Love them. A nice can of vegetarian baked beans. Gotta have that. Tuna fish. Gotta have a nice can of tuna fish. About 5 years worth of cans of tuna fish. Gotta have that there. The rest of the stuff is gonna be canned stuff. Canned fruit. I like my little Dole canned fruits.
That pineapple or
the mixed fruits.
fruit
The mixed fruits. I try to find the light syrup. I try not to do the heavy syrup. Try to do the light syrup, mixed fruits. So you're not just killing yourself with all of that extra sugar.
Okay.
And then the last thing that I probably would have a good 5 years of would be Spam. Because
really?
Damn it!
I need
You're
meat,
gonna go
man.
Spam for 5 years.
I need some
canned
meat.
Chicken. You could get.
I
just
need
about
some
anything
meat.
you want, and you're gonna go with Spam.
You
Okay.
took mine, Malik. I was gonna say Spam.
Spam.
Look,
All right. Let's keep it going, Joe. Your magic 5.
Well, Malik took one of mine. I was definitely getting spam. Spam! Dude,
No, go
spam is
ahead.
good stuff.
All right,
Anyway,
one more.
spam. I was going to get tuna. Because right now I eat tuna straight out of the can. So tuna. You got to get your protein somewhere. So spam and tuna, I think are good. Canned corn. Right? Give me some canned corn. Canned pineapple. So that's 4, right? And one more. Non-perishable. When I think non-perishable, it's always got to be in a can for me. Man, it's tough. You know what? We'll go with some corned beef. How's that?
That's a lot of canned corn stuff.
That's
But
all right.
whatever floats your boat. Okay.
That's corn.
Now, Johanna, let's start with the spices. You're gonna hit up the spice rack first. What are you getting?
I'm gonna get some cumin, some turmeric, paprika, wine barrel smoked salt, and chili powder.
Okay, I like that. I'll go with that. And so, what are you going to be putting this stuff on?
So my first item is chickpeas, because you can turn them into a really nice hummus, and you add the cumin. Then peanut butter, obviously, because peanut butter never goes bad, and you can
Obviously,
do
peanut butter.
Yes. I have a Parmalat, which I don't know if you guys know what Parmalat is. It's a shelf-stable milk. So that's kind of good. Or else maybe evaporated milk. Evaporated milk is really good.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed that Malik did not mention milk. He's getting cereal without milk. That's very.
I eat my cereal.
Friday.
I can eat my cereal
for Friday.
I can eat my cereal. I can eat my cereal dry, no problem.
Johanna, you're getting peanut butter, no jelly. I'm sorry. You got one more. Go ahead.
I have 2 more.
You have 2 more. Go ahead.
I have dark chocolate, and I have it's these crackers called Fin Crisps. They're these Finnish wheat crackers, which are delicious, and the nice thing about them is that they're good with kind of semi-sweet stuff like chocolate, but you can also do like a little hummus with them. So they're a very versatile kind of a carb.
Yeah, that's right. I like the way you're thinking about balancing out your diet for the next 5 years. Let me just turn around and ask you, the next little step in this scenario, you forgot toilet paper. Ugh, the end of the world, you don't got any toilet paper, but you do have some neighbors, and they have a lot of toilet paper, and they want spice, because they didn't get any spices. So you mentioned your 5 spices, but now you have to trade away 4 of them. Which spice are you going to keep that you're going to be using for the next 5 years, and why?
I would keep the wine barrel smoked sea salt because you can also kind of put it on top of the chocolate, and that's kind of really delicious, and it just adds this really nice flavor. And I didn't want to give up any of my spices because I love my spices, but I would have to stick with the salt on this one.
I hear you. For me, it would be tough to pick between salt and hot sauce, and I'm going to count hot sauce as a spice because I can. So yeah, I don't know. I would have a tough decision. Joe, what is your spice that you just couldn't live without?
It's either going to be teriyaki or barbecue sauce.
Barbecue sauce. Wow.
I think I'm keeping the barbecue sauce.
Now, are you going to dip your Spam in barbecue sauce, Joe?
Hell yeah.
Oh,
that
damn
sounds
right.
good.
That's
actually,
amazing.
Yeah.
Now, Malik, you've actually tried this before.
Yes, absolutely. I look.
Who hasn't?
Spam and barbecue sauce is great.
Okay.
Actually,
I'm going to try that now. I do get Spam occasionally. I don't know why. Actually, you know what? I do know why. My father gives me Spam whenever he comes to visit. It's like a joke for him, and I end up with Spam in my and so I eat Spam like maybe every 3 months. I'll have some Spam, and next time I do, you can bet there's going to be barbecue sauce on it.
That's right.
So would you go along with Joe on that one? Would you be wanting to keep barbecue sauce as your main spice there, Malik?
Actually, it would be Tabasco sauce would be my main spice. I would have to keep the Tabasco sauce. It'd have to be ready on a regular basis to go with just about everything except the cereal. I didn't say the other 4 spices that I was going to bring.
Go ahead.
I will jump in and say. So the one I would definitely give up. So I'd have accent. I'd have adobo.
Ooh.
That Goya adobo, I love it. It goes on everything great. And Old Bay seasoning.
Oh yeah.
And the fourth one, of course, black pepper, because I just love black pepper. So so the one I would give up would be the accent, because that's just pure MSG. So I just give that one up. So no problem with that one. Keep my adobo, my Tabasco.
No, Malik, you only get to keep one, buddy.
I don't get to keep one. I had to give up the other 4.
You have to. Weren't you paying attention?
Screw it.
Give up.
All right, screw it.
Piece of TP.
Toilet paper.
All right, screw it. Yeah, if I'm gonna keep the Tabasco sauce, I'm definitely gonna need toilet paper.
Great point, Malik. All right, so Joe, I know this is a hypothetical situation, all right? So in this situation, your math is off. Now, I know you're on point with your mathematics, but in this situation, you messed up, and it turns out you're going to run out of food in 6 weeks.
From 5 years to 6 weeks.
No. You make it like 4. You got till like 4 years and in 10 months, and I don't like math's never my strong point either. So you got to make it for another 6 weeks after you run out of food before you can leave your bunker. So you're not alone in your bunker, which means somebody's gonna have to die. So the question I got for you, Joe, is who are you eating? Now, this can be anybody, as long as you can explain what the hell they were doing in your bunker. It can be anybody. So, choice, you have all the choices in the world. Who are you eating?
Who am I going to eat? Knowing me, I'm probably a nice guy. I am a nice guy, so I'd probably see somebody out there. Now, wait, let me get the bunker thing straight before we move on. The bunker thing.
I've been with you for 4 years and 10 months and however many weeks. And
so have I not left the bunker in 4 years and whatever change it is? 4 years, 10.5 months. So we've been locked in this bunker.
And now you're going to have to eat them.
Okay, so I've grown attached to everyone I'm in the bunker with. But there's probably one person I brought in there because I felt bad for them or whatever in the beginning. So, and everybody else is probably going to be family. So that person who is not family is the one I'm eating. Sorry.
No,
Sorry,
we need
gotta
a specific person, Joe. We need a specific person. It could be a
specific person.
It could be somebody that you know. It could be a coworker. It could be that one guy from middle school that you didn't like. Who are you eating? Don't try to skirt the question.
Oh, I didn't know I had to name a specific person. You didn't.
You get negative
say
points. You're gonna get penalized. You do that again.
Ooh. All right. So first off, I wouldn't invite somebody to my bunker that I didn't like. So I don't. Yeah, that's kind of tough. Now everybody in the bunker I do like, or I wouldn't have them there. So who am I gonna eat? I don't know. I would probably. You know what, Lorenzo? Because I'm a family man, I would sacrifice myself for my family and let them eat me.
You, Joe. I don't know if that. Fine, I'll give that one to you. You're sacrificing yourself for your family. I appreciate that. All right. Well played, sir. Well played. Johanna, who are you eating?
I wouldn't be eating anybody because at this point I'm kind of a vegetarian because I can't stand the taste of meat. I'm not saying hypothetically. I'm saying like for real. So unless they're like a fish or a hamburger, I won't be able to eat them. So I would just die.
Johanna dies. She's out. Malik, I know you're not going out like that, Malik. I know you're not. That's why I saved you for last. Who are you eating, Malik?
It's a toss-up for me because it's either Jonah Hill, Seth Rogen, or Kevin James. One of those three.
Seth Rogen's got a lot of meat on him.
Seth Rogen and Kevin James, both of them. Jonah Hill keeps losing weight. He keeps fluctuating, so I'm not sure if I get the skinny Jonah Hill, I don't necessarily want that guy. If I get the fat Jonah Hill, I definitely want him. So basically, the reason why they're in my bunker is because, well, the reason why they think that they're in my bunker is because if I'm gonna be stuck in this bunker for the next 4 to 5 years, I need somebody that's gonna make me laugh on occasion every once in a while. So I'm going to invite the funny guy, the fat funny guy. Now the reason why they're fat is because I need to eat them. If we make it to a certain point, I'm going to need to eat you. So they have a dual purpose in my bunker. So
It's your
Yes,
emergency
well,
food
well,
supply.
You're eating the
Malik,
supplies. You're
Malik,
just fattening up for them. You premeditated their
their
you're gonna
demise.
cannibalize them because you're feeding them the food that you needed. So the reason why you didn't make it that last 6 weeks is because you were overfeeding Seth Rogen. So you
Right.
If it comes down, no, I'm just preparing for the
Alright.
possibility of having to kill them and eat them, and that's my whole point. And you know what? Because they've been eating the 5 things that I love, they'll taste good too. So it'll be perfectly fine. It's a perfectly good situation here.
Have any of you guys seen the anime Excel Saga?
no.
No.
It's like a satire and it's very ironic, and postmodern. But the main character is like this heroine, and she carries a dog around as her emergency food supply.
Johanna, your spouse has either died, perhaps from the nuclear winter that you guys just went through, or divorced you and ran off with a younger, better-looking, more successful person.
Thanks
If
a
that-
lot.
It's time to move on. You meet someone, you want to impress them, but you don't have a lot of money because you're now a single parent. So you invite the person over for dinner. Now, they accept. You give the kids the boot, and you focus on the meal. What's the game plan? And let's not forget beverages, guys. Very important.
Okay, so I would cut an acorn squash in half and brush it with a little bit of butter and maple syrup, as well as sprinkle some ground sage over it. And while I'm doing that, I would saute some chorizo and raisins and chickpeas if I haven't lost the taste for them after eating them for 5 years. And then I would just bake everything together, and I would make dark and stormies as the beverage, because that's just ginger beer you can get at the bodega, and dark rum. And I would use the dark rum to make a strawberry, like a strawberry reduction sauce to put over ice cream.
Now, see, that was my mistake. I should have put you last, Johanna. Instead, I know these two fools are not going to be able to match wits with you when it comes to kitchen. So,
Sorry.
and that's not to say anything about the female, male, the whole race of the sexes. It is because we all know Johanna is a sort of a menace to other cookers when it comes to being in the kitchen. It tears things up. I've had some of her foods, brings them occasionally for us to enjoy, and yeah. So that said, Malik, I'm gonna listen to you sweat this one out.
I ain't nothing to sweat. I ain't got no money, so we're going Hennessy, Doritos, and hot dogs. That's how
All
we
right.
That's how we're rolling for that date, okay? And if she don't like me when that's all over, she's been fed, she's been fully entertained, and she's probably gonna leave, and she's drunk as hell. So guess what? We're gonna something good is liable to happen. And if it doesn't, that's perfectly fine. There's always more Hennessy and Doritos that I can go find for a cheap price.
Wait. That was it. 2 ingredients: Hennessy and Doritos.
And hot dogs.
Hot
Yes,
dogs.
hot dogs
Hot dogs.
with barbecue sauce. We've got some hot dogs and buns and some barbecue sauce. I have so Lorenzo, just to let you know, I have priced this entire meal is probably somewhere around, depending upon your local liquor store, it's somewhere around $27. I can do a whole date off of $27. I Johanna, you made it sound great and beautiful, but I'm probably gonna have about 40 more bucks available for me to do something with, because honestly speaking, I ain't spending more than 25 bucks on this one.
Malik, I like your style. Johanna, Malik makes an excellent point. You spent some of your kids' money for their food. The kids are now going to have to go hungry for a couple of days. But I'm sure
wait a
it worked
minute.
out well for you. Joe, what are you doing?
I'm going even cheaper than Malik. I'm going Spam, white rice, soy sauce, and Kool-Aid. So I could make as much. I with a pack of the Kool-Aid, you'd be drinking for days, you know. So
You're thinking not just about the night. You're thinking long term. You're thinking
long term,
I need
because
stuff that's going to last me for the week.
I'm keeping her in that bunker.
She's staying with you for the week. I see.
You know, you cut up that spam and you ration that spam out properly, it'll last for days.
Now, Malik, here's a question for you. What kind of hot dogs? This makes a big difference in my opinion. What's the brand you're getting? Are you getting the generic key food generic brand hot dogs, the Kirklands or whatever they are? Or what are you doing for brand name as far as your hot dog selection goes?
The brand name doesn't really matter as long as it's either all beef or all turkey. It can't have the byproducts of a whole bunch of different animals in there. It has to be like all beef, and I'm good with all beef byproducts. I just can't have beef, turkey, pork, and like I can't have that all together. So just give me that all beef hamburger, Frank. Nathan's is cool, or Hebrew National.
Hebrew National, that's right. Yeah. Good call. Yes, I am a big fan of Hebrew National. They do carry them at the Costco. I suggest anybody that ever is in the market for hot dogs, they go with Hebrew National. I think they cost a little bit more, but they are well worth it. A little plug for Hebrew National. If they want to send us some free hot dogs, well, that is their decision.
And they're kosher. And they're kosher, so yeah.
They are kosher, so yeah. You know.
And you told me I'm broke, so they fit in my pocket. So
now kosher and halal, are those two like way off of each other? Like if something is halal, it doesn't mean it's kosher, or no?
They're similar. I think that halal, and I might be totally wrong, and I would ask the audience to correct. Halal is a lot more about draining all the blood, and they do say like a prayer over the animal, and they make sure that all the blood is out, and they really try to kill the animal in as quick of a way as possible. But I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, it does make sense. I know that like I think both of them involve holy men doing things in the kitchens or where the food's being prepped. So it makes sense that they would have their individual holy men doing the things that need to be done.
Actually. Because I actually lived on the same block as a halal, like a vivero, like a slaughterhouse almost, and I used to get rabbits from them. And I don't think there was like an imam or anything there. I think maybe there was someone who was kind of authorized to do that, but it wasn't like a rabbinical thing like in Judaism.
Wait, they gave you dead rabbits?
Yeah, they had rabbits, and they would kill them for me. You know,
how does that taste? I've never had rabbit before.
Oh,
rabbit
man.
Taste good?
It's like chicken, but like it melts in your mouth. And like my grandmother used to bathe like the rabbits in like beer and wine and leave them in like the fridge for like 3 or 4 days, and then cook them in some more beer and make like the stew out of them. Oh, it's just wonderful.
Man, Pod could have used your help 2 weeks ago, huh?
Yep.
And I always assumed watching Bugs Bunny that was just kind of, you know, you just couldn't catch and kill a rabbit.
They are fast and clever.
Well, these are eating rabbits, so they're bred to be huge and slow.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
They did, like none of the rabbits said it's duck season. Rabbit season.
They had ducks too, actually.
So these are okay. So feeding rabbits. Okay, so like Jonah Hill and Seth Rogen.
Yeah, they're eating people.
They're eating comedians.
The only problem with your logic there, Malik, is if you've been in the bunker with them for 4 years and 10 and a half months, chances are the food has all been rationed. You all probably lost a lot of weight in those 4 years.
No.
You haven't been eating normally.
No, I doubt Kevin James loses much weight. I just completely doubt it. I doubt he drops much weight at all. He's going to be the one that's going to be the least concerned about working out and losing weight.
I'm just talking about for the lack of food.
Well,
you know,
look at Hurley on
he would lose weight. Yeah, I was thinking about that, but technically they were only there for like 4 months.
Yeah, and Hurley's kind of sweaty fat. I don't necessarily.
Sweaty fat?
I don't think I want him in my.
So he has sweaty balls then.
Probably, and
but
we'd have to definitely make that halal.
Wasn't he hoarding food? Wasn't that why he was keeping the weight on?
Hurley? I don't remember, Joe.
No, I think that was towards the when they found the hatch.
Yeah, but they found the hatch at the end of season 1. So
It
yeah,
was,
I mean,
yeah.
it's not like those people were starving. They had like tons of food, and food was getting delivered every whatever few weeks by helicopter, crate, or whatever. But anyway, continue,
Zeke,
Lorenzo.
I got some good news, buddy. You found some change in the sofa. Now you can take your boo out, as long as the place isn't too expensive. Where are you taking? Where are you taking him?
Wait, was that to me or to Joe? I didn't hear you.
That's to you, Malik.
That was to me. I found some change in my sofa.
Good chunk of change.
A good chunk. I mean, like if I found change in my sofa and there's enough change for me to take a woman out, that's. I mean, damn. I really need to work on like what's in my pants pocket. Seriously. But what's in my sofa is clearly more than what I have in my bank. So, where am I taking her? Well, I really want to impress, so Wendy's is out. And so is White Castle. But I think, yeah, Boston Market. I could rock with a Boston Market. I think Boston Market is like that right in between, fast food and sit-down restaurant food, and it's just cheap enough that it doesn't taste like you're eating. In Johanna's famous words, it doesn't taste like disappointment. It actually tastes like it's been prepared nicely. It's well put together. It's on the plate, and it's not so expensive, so you're not gonna kill your wallet. Boston Market, grade A. That's number one for me. So that's where I'm taking her.
Malik, so you're gonna just order a whole chicken? Is that what you're doing?
She can eat the chicken. I'm gonna have the turkey. And if she's nice enough, and she flirts with me, then she can have an extra side of macaroni.
Oh, you're so sweet. You are the true romantic.
So generous of you.
Joe, what are you doing, Joe?
If you've had that
so-
macaroni, you know what I'm talking about.
Taking women to impress her.
All right, now are we still in the same timeline where we were in the bunker?
I should clarify, buddy. This is a whole new chapter. The other chapter was in the bunker, survival, Armageddon. This is sort of just like your life ended. The life that you knew ended because your missus just walked out on you. So now you're starting anew. You're single. You're a bachelor. You meet a nice girl. You find some change in your pocket. Find some change in the sofa, and you say, you know what? I'm gonna take her out, show her a good time, because she's putting up with me, being a single parent and all that, being typically broke. So what are you doing? Where are you taking her?
I'm gonna treat that girl like royalty,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna take her to White Castle. Well, we're going to White Castle. She be my princess. I'll be the king. She be the queen. I'll be the king. We go to my castle. Go to White Castle. For like $10, we get 10 burgers with fries and cokes. Man, I think we'll be good. And then any girl that can handle White Castle, that's a girl for me. Yeah, she can handle it. If that stomach can handle those murder burgers, we're good to go. And then you get to see a girl, like if you don't know her too well, you get to see her in a spot where girls don't normally like you to see them on, early on in the first date, early in the relationship. They don't want to see, they have some stomach problems, They don't want you to see that. They want to keep that personal, but you get to see that right away. You go to White Castle.
It's gonna reveal itself. You might not fully understand.
I'm not bringing her home.
But I'm gonna treat her like a queen. Take her to a castle, White Castle.
All right.
Okay. All right. So Johanna, you found some change in your sofa. However, you still need to feed your kids because you starved them the other night. So you don't have very much money at all. So you have to go to a place that is cheap. Period. No kind of disclaimers. No qualifiers. Cheap. Where are you going?
Look,
Why?
it's not that expensive to make acorn squash and buy some ice cream, first of all. But since I
think Joe. I think $50 sounded about right for what you were serving up.
No, I'm gonna price it out, and I'm gonna come back to you, and you're
You
gonna
do
have
that.
to
But
eat
in the
your
meantime,
words.
let's go ahead and move on.
Okay. so I don't have a lot of money, but that's okay because I was going to use the extra money to buy like a bottle of Prosecco or something and do a picnic in the park overlooking the nuclear wasteland that used to be New York because that's the way I roll. And yeah, like I wouldn't actually spend any extra money. If I was going to spend extra money, it would be like I said, like on a bottle of like Prosecco or something to really, you know.
So
That's
when
what.
so you're taking them out aside, basically. You're like, sweetie, we're going out, and then it's just like, okay, we are now out, right?
Are you saying I'm cheap or that I'm bending the rules a little bit or?
I think it's good. It's fine. I'm gonna allow it. Because you do get the nice view of the wasteland. You know what? But if you're not used to that pollution and radioactive fallout by now, well then you're gonna go extinct anyway.
Oh, and
But
I wanted to add that I would bring the acorn squash and everything else with me. It'd be a picnic.
right, no, I got it. I got it.
Okay.
And that might be great, or it might be the worst date ever. But who knows? So we're going to have to rely on history, Johanna. Now, if you can recall, can you please tell us a little bit about your worst date ever?
Yeah, this was at a time when I was dating many dudes, trying to find like a dude who wasn't an idiot or crazy or perverted or anyway. So I let this guy take me out on a date. He took me to a really nice restaurant. Like he asked me where I wanted to go, and I said blah blah blah, knowing it was a really expensive restaurant. And he took me, and I was like, okay, like that. He's flexible. That's great. He took me to the,
Flexible. That's not the word for. That's not the word I would use.
He could have said, hey, no, let's go over here. But that's not the worst date part of it. So he took me to like this coffee shop. He went to like the School of Visual Arts, and like a couple of his friends came in. He's like, oh, hey, and like, introduced me. And he's like, at some point I said something, and he turned to them and he said, don't listen to her, she's stupid. And I was like, hold on a minute, in my head. I was like, maybe he was joking. So I was like, and I've realized I'm kind of like a guy in this way. I'm like, let me see where this goes. What can I get out of this? So finally, like, he did kiss me, and his lips were like, oh my goodness, they were like two cold worms, and they were trembling. I almost started laughing in the middle of it, and as like we were leaving, he's like, I want to see you again, so you better clean your place before I come over.
Oh my gosh.
Two
I like that.
Oh, that was forward.
shaky, nervous worms. I've never heard anybody describe lips as nervous worms.
Cold worms.
So would you say that kiss tasted like disappointment?
That kiss tasted like desolation. That's what that kiss tasted like.
Hold on, what restaurant was this? You kind of blah blah blah'd over the restaurant.
It wasn't like super. It was super expensive to me at the time and to him because he was in college and I had just graduated. It was just like a fancy Italian restaurant in Little Italy. That's all. I don't remember the name.
Okay. I'm really interested in what you got to say here, Malik.
I wasn't sure if I was going last. I thought I was going to go last on this one. Okay. I can't remember how long ago this was, but I took a girl out on a date. We went to Central Park. Well, first off, we went out to dinner, and we went to, I can't remember. We went to like, I think we went to like Red Lobster or Pizzeria Uno's, one of those chain restaurants in the city. Actually, yeah, it wasn't Red Lobster because Red Lobster wasn't in the city at the time. So we went to one of those chain restaurants in the city. Had something good. Had some good food. Had a couple of drinks, and decided that we didn't want the date to end, and everything was going really well. So decided, you know what? Let's go take one of those horse and carriage rides in Central Park. I had never done it before, and she had never done it before. So it was just an opportunity for us to go ahead and do that. So we get on the horse and carriage ride. you know, first off, it's like $38, which I was just completely not ready to spend on this woman, and this horse and carriage ride. I mean, it was like our second date, so I was definitely not looking to go that route. But that's not the worst part of it. The worst part of it is after we had this food and everything like that, we're hanging out, we're on this horse and carriage, and there's another horse and carriage pulling a couple about, say, 100 feet in front of us. And as we are walking and enjoying the night and enjoying this horse and carriage ride, the horse in front of ours stops and decides that this is the moment where he or she is going to relieve him or herself in the midst of while we're trying to have our romantic moment. Well,
this is your date?
No, this is not my date. This is the horse that's in front of the horse that we're riding.
Gotcha.
So, of course, in its beautiful glory, we got to see these humongous balls of stuff come falling out of this horse that was in front of ours, and it caused this woman to show me, to remind me what she ate that night. Yes, threw up all over the area we were sitting in. Got it all over my brand new sneakers that I had literally just purchased like 6 hours before the date. All over me, all over her, all over the blanket that we were using, and I still had to pay for the stinking thing. So, needless to say, the date was over after that. We spoke once about a month later, but I think she was just so embarrassed by what had happened. It just never went anywhere from there. Cool girl, but yeah, clearly worst date ever.
Wow, good one.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. Joe, worst date ever?
I can't. I never had experiences like Malik and Johanna just described there. I mean, I've had I probably would say the worst was probably before I even met my wife.
I hope so.
Yeah. Before I met my wife, my friend asked me to go with him on a, I hate those double date type things. Hey, come with me, meet my girl's friend. So I go with him, and of course, naturally, he needed me because I'm the one with the car. So he was like, "Yo, man, why don't you come with us? Hook you up." I was like, "All right, come on." And it was just kind of boring. You got nothing in common. You got nothing to talk about. It was just, it was boring. We went to I think it was like an arcade or something along those lines. Yeah, it was Sports Time USA. It's up here. Where it's like games, batting cages, pool tables, all that kind of stuff.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah, I mean, she just wasn't into it and stuff like that. It was like, and then my friend's over there with his girl, you're talking, having a good time. I'm like, not doing anything. So then I had to drive all the way home. So yeah, just boring. It wasn't like a horrible experience other than I was bored to death.
Let me ask you a question. I'm gonna jump in right here with a scenario. Okay. So all right. So go out on you're supposed to meet her at a place, right? This is the first time you're meeting this girl, and you arrive early or on time, whatever. She's not there yet. So you go up to the bar. You order a drink from the bartender. You get your drinks and you pay for it. And then she shows up, right? She sits over by the window. So she's now at the tables. So you go over to her. Actually, you don't pay for your drink. So you go over to the tables. You figure, okay, well, I'll keep the tab open, and she'll order whatever, and then we'll just put it on the same tab. So you sit down. You sit down next to her. The bartender proceeds to come up to you and tell you, oh, well, actually, the bar and the tables are separate. So I just need to settle up right now. He gives you back your card. You sign off on your drink, pay for it, goes off, right? So now you're talking to this girl, and she just looks tired and bored. And and you're a very charming individual who's able to keep up a conversation and able to like really, in some of the worst case scenarios, you're able to like keep the conversation going. But you find just a bunch of dead ends. It really seems, in your opinion, this girl is like the opposite of interested in you. You try asking, did you have a rough day maybe? How is it with your sleep? Whatever. She's not giving you anything. She's just kind of looking miserable, right? She orders a drink. You're talking, you're trying. Just isn't working. You don't feel anything, right? And so it gets to the point where you're like, it seems like this date is just not really going very well. And she says to you, well, it definitely isn't now because, you called it out. Because you're the type of person that just likes to put everything on the table. So then by now the check has arrived for her drink, right? And you didn't order anything else. And so it's just check for her drink. By now she said, that the date didn't go well. You kind of forced her into saying it maybe a little bit. The waitress keeps coming by to look at to look for the check. She's like, oh, do you mind if I take this? And you're like, oh yeah, go right ahead. There's not anything in it, but feel free to take it. And so then it's like, okay, well, date's over. You kind of call it. She calls it, whatever. And then she kind of signals at you, how the check comes in like that little leather-bound folder thing. She signals. She gives you like a look, like at the, she looks at you, and then she looks at the leather-bound check thing, and at this point, you say, "Oh, did you want me to get that?" She says, "No, don't worry about it," and then proceeds to look really, really pissed off and pays for it. Make fake smile on her face, goes the opposite way of you. Date's ended. Now, is that wrong? Did you do something wrong in this situation, Joe?
No, and this story sounds vaguely familiar. No, as I told you before, I agree with you, Lorenzo.
Yeah,
Joanna, what do you think?
I honestly, I don't even think it matters if it was wrong or right. I will say that it doesn't even matter because you're never going to see them again, so they can be as pissed off as they want to be because, it's not like you're going to call her again so that you guys can spend the whole evening tired and pissy with each other, right?
Yeah. Malik, I think I know where you're going to side on this one, but go ahead. What do you think about this?
Man, the moment that we both decided that this date was pretty much a wash, I would have got up and left before that check came anyway. Like I would have
started. The check was just sitting there the whole time. The check was sitting there like a dead cat on the table.
Look, I didn't. If I order her the drink, I would pay for the drink. If she ordered that drink herself, nah, she can go ahead. And when you got this, no, I wouldn't even ask if she got it. Okay, I wouldn't ask if she got it. I probably wouldn't even have noticed the fact that she was looking at me all weird or something like that. You're boring. Maybe you should order another drink and become less boring, and then go meet somebody in this place. But I'm out. I'm leaving. I'll see you later.
Never. And that brings us to our flash round, guys. All right, I can't promise everybody's going to get to answer, but what we're going to do is we're going to go around, and I'm gonna call out restaurants or mostly restaurants, and you're going to tell me what you're ordering at that restaurant. Now, I don't want to hear I'm not going to order anything. No, you got to order something, and it can't just be like, I'm just going to get water, or I'm just going to get a Diet Coke. No, you got to go all in. All right. Who wants to go first? I'm gonna let you guys choose who's going first on this one.
Joe,
it is. All right, Joe. I'm gonna throw you an easy one here.
Let's go.
Olive Garden.
Chicken Parmesan.
Chicken Parmesan. What about the breadsticks?
You asked me what I'm gonna order. That's what I want to order. Chicken parmesan. Yeah, the breadsticks are gonna come with it, so I don't need to order. That's automatic. Chicken
Johanna,
parm
when you
breadstick.
order chicken parmesan, you know how you order something and then the waitress is just like, oh, do you want this? Do you want that? They ask you like 5 different questions. What are the questions they would ask you at Olive Garden?
Uh, would you like breadsticks with that? Would you like a salad with that?
Well, wait a second.
What-
Can I stop
I'm-
for a second, Johanna? Why are you asking her that? Did you work at Olive Garden or something, Johanna?
Yeah, no, actually, now that you mention it, I kind of went automatically there, didn't I? Lorenzo, why are you asking me this?
I'm thinking Johanna's going around table to table. Would you like breadsticks with that? Would you like a all-you-can-eat salad? You know?
I have never worked at Olive Garden.
Oh, okay. I thought you were some Olive Garden like expert.
No,
Okay.
I want to hear Lorenzo's rationale. I know we're on a time budget, but I want to hear your rationale, Lorenzo.
Oh, why I choose you to? Because you would know this kind of stuff. You are as far as the 4 of us go. You have been declared the culinary expert, and you probably go to Olive Garden more than Joe or Malik.
I haven't been to Olive Garden in about 5 years or something. So.
When was the last time you were at Olive Garden, Joe?
Longer than that.
See? Point proven. All right, Malik, what do you get at Olive Garden?
I only go to Olive Garden when they have that bottom whatever that you can order.
Yeah, the bottomless salad, the bottomless breadsticks, whatever. Yeah.
Well, I think that's always bottomless. But I'm talking about like when they have the pasta meal and you can like order the same meal over and over again. And they give you just a little bowl of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Soup,
like
salad, and breadsticks.
that's the only time I go to
Yeah.
Olive Garden. So that's probably what I'd order. Just like I don't really trust. I don't trust chain Italian food. Like I don't trust them. So, just give me regular like, penne and garlic sauce and just keep that coming until I get full.
Johanna, McDonald's.
Big Mac and fries.
Joe, McDonald's.
McDonald's, I'm getting they don't have the Angus burger anymore. Whatever the new thing is, the bacon
McRib?
cheeseburger. The
Yeah,
bacon
are you eating the
cheeseburger.
McRib?
No, the bacon
Oh.
cheeseburger meal with fries, obviously.
Obviously. And Malik?
All my hood people know you get a number 2. You get a number 2. You don't get a super size. You get a number 2 regular. It's 2 cheeseburgers and an order of French fries and a medium Coke. Good to go. $5.
Alright.
You're good to go.
Malik, White Castle.
Gosh, this is tough because I really don't go to White Castle, but I did go to White Castle. Somebody drove me to White Castle not too long ago, and I had the chicken rings, and those were pretty good. So I'll do the chicken rings. I'm scared of their burgers, so I'm not
You said
touching
chicken wings?
those. Rings, like they're onion rings, but
Oh,
instead
yeah,
of
okay.
onion, it's
Chicken
chicken.
ring. Chicken, onion. Oh, wait. What? You're confusing me. Chicken rings?
Chicken
Is
rings.
that what you said?
Yeah, they are onion rings. They're shaped like onion rings, but instead of onion, it's chicken.
You just blew my mind. I didn't know they had that. Joe, did you know they had chicken rings?
Yes, that's the only thing my daughter will eat at White Castle.
Oh.
Oh, see, me and your daughter have something common.
Yeah.
Chicken rings. And what would you eat, Joe?
5 cheeseburgers.
5. That's a good number. I would get behind that. Cheeseburger with cheese.
With cheese. Cheeseburger with cheese, yeah.
No, and then the onion. What do they put on there? Onions.
They
chopped
put on
up?
those little
I
onions.
love
chopped
those
in.
onions.
Johanna, how many sliders are you getting?
2 and a side of onion rings.
That's very modest.
What do you mean it's very modest?
2. They're very small burgers.
I know they
small.
are.
I kind of feel like White Castle. New Yorkers love I like White Castle, and for some things though, I feel like it's a matter of pride. It's not necessarily that the thing is good. It's just that it's a matter of pride. You guys know what I mean?
No.
Not really.
There are.
It's good enough for Harold and Kumar.
That's exactly my point. Harold and Kumar go through hell and back to have some White Castle. Now, they were stoned at the time, so it's kind of understandable. But there is a big fandom for White Castle. And I think part of the reason is just the fact that it is sort of a New York institution. I know they have them elsewhere, but White Castle and New York go hand in hand. And I feel like it's just a matter of pride. I kind of feel the same way about New York pizza, you know, on the corner, that the slices you get, it's just like a plain cheese piece of pizza. I don't think those are particularly better than anything you would get anywhere else, but New Yorkers are, and not just New Yorkers, anybody that comes and visits New York, they make it a point to get one of those slices of pizza. They're okay. What about Popeyes, Joe? What are you getting from Popeyes? Is Joe still there?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
I put myself on mute so I could blow my nose. I didn't want the audience to hear that.
You didn't have to tell them that either.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, I felt I had to now. Now you know. Now the audience feels closer to me. Anyway, chicken fingers, whatever the chicken tenders, whatever they call them at Popeyes. I don't go to Popeyes too much. Full disclosure, doesn't Popeye? Let's put it this: Popeyes and I don't agree on a lot of things. So
I love that
yeah, but I would stick with the chicken fingers.
black beans and rice are like the bomb. Whatever else they have, I kind of like their chicken. I like it better than Kentucky Fried Chicken, that's for sure. Kentucky Fried Chicken makes me sick. Johanna, cereal. What kind of cereal are you gonna get?
Oh God, what cereal? Shredded wheat.
Shredded wheat.
I really like shredded wheat with like a little honey and some sliced bananas.
You know, I never had a cereal I didn't like. I don't think I've ever had it. Even grape nuts. I like grape nuts, and that's like the nastiest cereal that I think they ever made.
Oh, I love bran. Bran is wonderful, and it moves you, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, okay. Malik, Dunkin' Donuts / Starbucks. So either or, I don't know if they're really connected or not, but you get the choice.
So I'm gonna choose Dunkin' Donuts. I don't do Starbucks very often. I think it's too expensive. But Dunkin' Donuts, I'll get a nice hot chocolate and a couple of Boston creams.
Okay. All right. Joe, combination Pizza Hut Taco Bell.
Taco Bell, 3 soft tacos.
You got it set. Johanna, IHOP.
Belgian waffle with bacon and sausage.
Now you're talking. Malik, the pub around the way.
Whatever's on tap. And if you are a pub worth anything in the world, you better be able to make me a good burger.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna go back there and make me a burger with some steak fries that I'm gonna like, or else I'm never coming back.
Joe, you're an expert on this one. Lunch at work. Where are you going?
Lunch at work. All right. I'm probably gonna go to Saigon Market. I went there today.
You love Saigon Market, don't you?
It's a standard.
Yeah, I love my summer rolls. Now it's getting warmer out. I gotta have my summer rolls.
I'm a believer now. I'm a convert.
Johanna, the bodega.
The bodega. Egg and cheese and on a roll.
No bacon?
I'm iffy on bacon. I think I can still have bacon, so I'll have bacon. Okay, bacon, egg, and cheese on a roll.
It's a good choice. Who was I going? Oh, Malik. What are you doing about the diner?
Oh man, the diner, man. There's so many good choices at a diner.
I know. It's mind-boggling. I don't even look at the menu. The menu just confuses me.
Yeah, it's just there's too much going on there. So I'm probably just gonna point. I'm just gonna probably close my eyes and point. But if I have to make a decision, there's a diner in the Bronx that I love to go to, and they make an amazing chicken and waffles. So I will probably go with chicken and waffles at the diner.
That sounds really good. Right now, I might be a little hungry. Okay, now this is for all three of you. The barbecue joint up in Harlem.
Which one?
Exactly. You tell me, Johanna, which one and what are you getting?
I actually haven't had barbecue in Harlem, although I heard there's like a smokehouse somewhere near where we just moved. But one meat that I can still eat is ribs. I love ribs. I could eat ribs every day. They're the most wonderful creation that God has made. But I would love to hear where people are eating ribs or any other barbecue if there are suggestions.
Okay, you guys, which one of you wants to go?
Yeah, well, like Johanna, I have not eaten barbecue in Harlem, so I don't know what any names of restaurants. But all I know is, like Johanna, I want some barbecue ribs, and I definitely want a side of cornbread. There's no doubt
Oh
about
yes,
that. I'm having some
yes.
cornbread. Ribs and cornbread go together.
Malik, I know you're not going to disappoint. Come through with the answer. Come
Well,
through with the correct answer.
if you're in Harlem, and you want to get some barbecue, some good barbecue, there's a nice new spot called Dinosaur BBQ, which is located on 125th Street, all the way on the west side, towards the end of towards by the West Side Highway. Very good place.
But that's a chain restaurant.
I've never been.
I've had it in Newark.
Barbecue.
Yeah, I've had it in Newark also.
It's barbecue. It's in Harlem. That's what I gave you. Okay.
I've heard. I mean, it's very good.
It is good.
But yeah, if I have to go barbecue, if I go barbecue in Harlem, I've got to go with some. I gotta go with the chicken. I gotta go with some barbecue chicken with cornbread. It's got and the barbecue sauce has to like be pasted on my damn hands when it's all said and done. Like I need more than enough barbecue sauce so I could that's another meal. It's just the barbecue sauce that's on my fingers when it's all said and done. So just give me plenty of barbecue sauce, give me a plate of chicken wings. I mean like 30 of them, and I'll probably try to get through. I'll try to get through half of them before the end of the night.
Okay. I mean, the correct answer is spoon bread 2. You guys never been there?
See, spoon bread, I wouldn't count. Spoon bread is like it's like a soul restaurant. I wouldn't necessarily say it's barbecue. Although you can get barbecue there, but there's plenty of stuff that you can get and you can not touch the barbecue.
Okay, yeah, I had the barbecue chicken when I went, and it was really good. They also make this like, what is it, lemonade? I don't know what it was, but man, that stuff was delicious. Anyway, so. Okay, let's move on. I want to now switch gears a little bit. We're talking about restaurants. I guess it's kind of keeping on the same gear. What restaurants are new and exciting for you, Johanna?
I don't know about like the hip and new upcoming, but we just discovered, and my husband's still not convinced that it's very good, taqueria up here in East Harlem called Guadalupe, and I had it the other night, and it was Malik, have you heard of it?
I haven't. I'm actually interested in hearing more about it.
It's really delicious, and they make their own tortillas, and I had a friend who recommended it, who's like kind of picky about her food, and she used to be a sous chef, and she recommended it, and it was really good. Like, I thought it was really good. The quesadillas were made with like real tortillas, like homemade, so yeah.
And what was it called again?
Guadalupe.
Nice. Okay. Joe, do you have a place you like?
Not really. I don't get to go out to like regular restaurants too often. So no, not really. I mean, I was excited around here when they opened up. What's the barbecue place? It's Texas.
Dallas.
Texas Roadhouse.
Texas
Roadhouse. So I was really excited for that to open up over here because I'd never been to one. We went and it was good. I had some barbecue. It stopped my craving for a little bit for some barbecue. But I wish they opened up a Dallas BBQ over here. That I would like. But yeah, no, nothing new, nothing trendy. I'm sorry to disappoint there. Nothing new, trendy for me.
I'm disappointed. Malik?
I don't do new trendy stuff. I do stuff that I know and stuff that I'm cool with, stuff that I'm accustomed to. In the city, Carmine's Italian, family style Italian food. Freaking amazing, and there's so much of it. I'm always taking stuff home. It's great. It's amazing. It's awesome. And probably
Carmine's been around for like 100 years, right?
Yeah, exactly. So Carmine's is not new in any way, shape, or form. There's 2 locations I think in the city, and it's family style Italian food. So
What are you recommending?
Everything, but my personal favorite is the I believe it's the veal. I believe it's the veal cutlets. Yeah, it's veal cutlets.
Hmm.
It's really, really, really nice, nicely sautéed in like this lemon butter
Mm.
sauce, and they give you the side of whatever pasta you're asking for. So you just drop the pasta, you got the veal, amazing, and then you get your salad or whatever you want to get with it. Great. So so for me, I'm hitting up Carmine's, and then and I'm surprised Joe didn't mention this. You know, going to City Island. Go to City Island, and you can never go wrong with any of the restaurants on City Island.
Now, what's that one
All
at the
the
end?
Johnny's Reef.
Johnny's
Johnny.
Reef, Sammy's Fish Box. There's so many on that on City Island that you can go to. So I'd say if you're staying in the city, go hit up Carmine's, great Italian food, or go take the drive, go to City Island, and eat seafood to your heart's content.
See, the reason I bring it up, Malik, because it said new. So,
Okay,
new
that's
spot.
fine, Joe. Joe, what? Okay, let's talk now about some establishments that you are tried and true establishments that you rely on for just like your comfort food. Where you going just makes you feel like that's your place.
Oh, like what we just said before. When I'm in the mood for some shrimp, I go right to City Island. I go right all the way to the end. There's always a party happening down there. Somebody's blasting music because it's all outdoors. Somebody's blasting music from their car or something, and you can sit down, eat some shrimp with some fries, feed some fish, feed the birds. It's a fun time. So I enjoy it over there, Johnny's.
All right, yeah, we gotta go, Joe. We need to make some more field trips. We gotta block off some time for some agents field trips
Hmm.
where we do some food touring. We talked about a couple of places. We talked about Smash Burgers. We haven't tried out, and
Smash Burger.
is that what it's called?
No, you Comic Burger, whatever. What was that place you talking about?
We'll look,
Comic
find it
Super
later.
Superhero Burger. What was it? What was the name of the place?
I'll look it up. What about you there, Johanna? Which
Uh,
what's your spot?
so one of our favorite spots, and it really does feel like home, is this restaurant called Queen of Sheba, which is on the west side. I believe it's on like 44th or 45th, and 11th or 10th. And whenever we go to the Intrepid, and we go to the Intrepid a lot, or whenever we're just there, we go to Queen of Sheba. It's an Ethiopian restaurant, and we've just been going since before we were married. Anytime anybody comes to visit us and we want to do something fun and interesting and probably new to them, like we go to Queen of Sheba, and they usually end up saying, my brother went there and was very skeptical, and afterward he said, "This is better than any burger I could have gotten."
And
So
that's what you would recommend the burger?
no, no, no. I would recommend there's like a chicken made with a jalapeno and rosemary and olive oil. And then there's also like the vegetarian platter. You cannot go wrong. It's various stews of chickpeas and lentils, and there's cabbage and there's carrots, and it's really kind of lovely, and it's very filling, even though it's vegetarian.
Okay. That sounds good. The actual correct answer is the Wing Bar here in Brooklyn on Smith Street. I love that place. You go there. That's where they know my name. I've had like 2 birthdays there. The food is just well, it's wings. They have Miller Lite on tap in pitchers for like $11. So it's definitely I definitely recommend it. I get the hot wings. I can eat 20 of those things easily. Give me the blue cheese on the side with the little carrots and the celery sticks. To kind of cut the spice a little bit when necessary. Yes, and a whole pitcher of beer, and I am straight. What about places that aren't around? You guys are all native New Yorkers, right?
Uh,
Are there
no.
whatever? Are there some places that you? Is there a place where you wish they were around still and they're not?
Well, even though I'm not a native New Yorker, there was a place near my last job before this one, called Teeny, Teany. And it was a vegan restaurant and tea house. It was owned by Moby, if you guys remember Moby.
Ever. He's still alive.
Yes, he's still alive, and
Yeah.
he kind of like it just disappeared for 2 years because of a quote unquote fire. And before that, it was really good. They had a really good TLT, which was like a smoky tempeh and lettuce and tomato sandwich with like sprouts on it. And they went away for like 2 years, and then they came back and sucks.
Oh, no
Yeah.
good. No, it's bueno. Joe, is there a place that you wish was still around?
Not really. I tell you, when I was a kid, I used to love going to Jack in the Box, and I was sad when they closed it. But,
Malik, is there a place that you miss that you wish was still around?
Yeah, funny enough, when I was a kid, I used to go to this place called Flaming Embers. It was a steakhouse somewhere in the city, and I used to get taken there by family members all the time. And when I got older and could go out and afford my own, afford to buy my own steak meal, I would go there, and for about $20, it was like one of those buffet style places. So you go there, you get your tray, you order the steak that you want, and then once you order the steak that you want, the guy puts the steak on the grill, and you keep walking down the assembly line. You get your fix in, so you get your salad, and you get your salad, your dressing, you get your bread if you want bread, you get your side order if you want your side order. You take it all the way down, and then when you get to the end to pay, that's when the guy brings you the steak. It's perfectly cooked, perfectly made, to exactly the way that you want it, and it's all for like $20-25 at the most.
Sounds amazing.
Per person. It was absolutely amazing. And I would only go as a kid, and as soon as I started making my own money and I could start going myself, I went one time, and then the second time I tried to go, they were closed down.
At least you got that one time.
Yeah, that didn't help. I still think about it to this day. Whenever I'm in that area, I think it's like a T-Mobile store now, and I swear, I just it bothers me every time I walk past.
What area was that you said?
It's on 86th Street. It was on 86th Street, all the way on the east side, but I think between 2nd and 3rd Avenues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. What about guys? Best pizza?
I think it's this place called New Roma. It's on 87th and 3rd. It's absolutely Elysian. It's wonderful.
What kind of pizza is it?
It's just like straight up like New York pizza, like no frills.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's it called again?
New Roma.
New Roma. Okay. Joe?
You know what? I lived out of New York for so long. I was gone for 15 years. Every time I would come back, I didn't care what pizza place I went to, as long as I could get a New York pizza, because it tasted better than any crap that I had down there.
That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
It was better than any crap that I had down there.
Hard fried.
But I'll tell you, when I lived, and maybe you know, Lorenzo, because you lived in D.C., when I used to hang out in Adams Morgan, there was a spot in Adams Morgan that served a pizza like, I'm holding my hands out, it was like huge. It had to be like a foot long. It was ridiculous. But it would like droop down. I'm not saying it was the best pizza I had. I'm just saying when I think about pizza, I was thinking about that. I mean, how people used to line up outside that place at like 3 o'clock in the morning waiting to get a slice of that droopy foot-long pizza. So that's why I was grateful when I get back to New York. When I used to get back to New York and get some good home cooking pizza, because it all tastes, you go to different ones. Some taste better than the others, but it all has that same New York taste.
Okay. Malik?
Yeah, I mean, whatever the local pizza shop is in your neighborhood. I feel like in your neighborhood, I feel like if you've lived there long enough, your template or your palate kind of gets accustomed to that pizza. And no matter where you go, you can eat pizza anywhere else, as long as it's not one of those chain spots. You can eat pizza anywhere else. If it's not the spot that you grew up with, it's just not the same. So the pizza spot around my way is called King's Pizza. It's probably nowhere near as good as anybody else's. It's not big the list of best pizza in the city. It's definitely not going to be, on anybody's foodie list or anything along those lines. But it's my place, it's my spot, and whenever I go away on vacation and I have pizza somewhere else, I got to come back, stop at King's, and get me 2 slices. And it's greasy, and it's the grease is coming through the box or through the bag. It's absolutely horrible for probably on my arteries, but I don't care. It's awesome, and it's mine, and so that would be my place.
That's a great answer. Unfortunately, it's incorrect. The correct answer is DeFera's over here in Midwood. That is the best pizza in the world, as far as I'm concerned. Hopefully it's around for longer. It's run by this guy named Don. He's got to be like 105 at this point, and he does it for the love of the pizza. He is there making pizza. That's what he does. That is his life, and it tastes like it. You taste Don DeMarco's life on this pizza. He's just bleeding pizza, bleeding deliciousness.
Okay.
You're really selling this, like.
Oh, I am a huge fan of DeFera's. DeFera, D-I space F-A-R-A.
Oh, let me write that down.
DeFera's.
They deliver to Westchester?
There's a lot of great pizza in Brooklyn. You guys didn't say Brooklyn, so automatically all 3 of you are wrong. DeFera's is my favorite. You also got Totono's. That's another great place. And let me think. There's a Grimaldi's. Well, it's not. Grimaldi's is pretty good. People know about Grimaldi's. I don't know what people know about DeFera's though. If you're not from New York, and you're coming to, and you're wondering where do I go to get pizza in New York, that's the answer. DeFera's. Go to DeFera's, Midwood. It's off J Street with the QB line, whatever that is.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
You've changed my mind, Lorenzo. You've done such a great job of explaining it, and kind of advertising it. So now, instead of Seth Rogen in my bunker, I want Don DeMarco, because when I eat him, he's gonna taste like great pizza. So it's awesome.
He might, yeah. He's not a big guy though. He's a little old man. He might be a little bit tough, but I'm sure there's just so much flavor.
He'll taste like pizza.
Can't go wrong.
His life is in the pie. Okay.
Yeah, his life is in the pie. Okay, so worst place ever.
Pizza place or just in
Nobody's
general?
listening. Tell us about the experience. We want names, places, streets, the name of the chef. What's the worst place ever?
All right, I'll go. Last summer I went to try out this new barbecue place opened up here and around my way. Went to go try it out. I was excited about this barbecue spot. Went with my wife and daughter, and man, like the food was like dry. I mean, it's cooked at barbecue, so it's supposed to be like, juicy. If it was like kind of dry meat, it was kind of tough. Didn't like fall off the bone. The cornbread was like, I said, hey, don't I get some cornbread? They gave me like this little tiny piece in the beginning. I said, like, where's the rest of it? It's like, oh no. I said, is this it? And she said, yeah. Do you want more? I was like, no, because it tasted like a couple of days old. It was like hard as a rock. I'm like, okay. And then I get the bill. Obviously, it was overpriced. I'm like, I'm never coming here again. Never.
What place is this?
It's called Double R Barbecue over here.
Double R Barbecue.
It was like,
stay away, people.
Never going back there.
Johanna?
So there was this Ethiopian place, I guess you guys have noticed by now, we go to a lot of Ethiopian restaurants, called Genet, Ghenet. They're closed now, probably for a good reason. We went in.
You still there, Johanna? Am I still there?
You're still here.
I'm here.
Joe's still here. I think we might have lost Johanna.
Okay.
Johanna. So Malik goes.
Let me just say about Ethiopian food, since Johanna can't defend it, since she's not here, that to me it just tastes like cumin. I don't know. This is all Ethiopian food. Not a big fan. Malik, go ahead.
So for me, the only place that I can remember being the worst place, the worst experience, I've never liked Sizzler. And I don't know if Sizzler is still around as a restaurant. I've never actually liked Sizzler. Sizzler seemed to it had all of the advertisements and all of the the accolades, and people used to talk about go to Sizzler, and they used to have little dances and little songs about going to Sizzler and stuff like that. And I went to the Sizzler, and it was not very good. Like, the food just wasn't up to par, as to what I would have expected it to be. And in particular, there's one Sizzler that was in the Bronx, not too far from Parkchester, where we
I think it's still there.
Oh, I don't know if it may very well be there.
What place is this?
Sizzler.
Sizzler.
My wife and I went to that place one time, and aside from along with the food being disgusting, a fight broke out between the wait staff and some patrons, and we decided that was the worst dining experience we'd ever had in a restaurant, and decided we'd never go again. So Sizzler for me is the worst place ever. It's a chain.
Looking at Yelp, it says that the one in Forest Hills is perhaps the last one on the northeast coast, and they also have a picture. Apparently, they charge you $2.50 for wrapping your food. Unbelievable. Okay, no Sizzler. Johanna, I don't think you actually named the Ethiopian restaurant.
It's called Genet. It's Ghenet. Did you guys hear my whole story about how they didn't serve us?
No.
All right, so we went into the restaurant, and it took them about 20 minutes to even acknowledge our presence. And they sat us down, and then they did not take our order. Like, literally, like, just did not even, no. Like, we had to walk out, and they didn't even care that we walked out. And actually, now that I'm talking about that, there's a restaurant that's still open that has happened to us like 3 or 4 times.
Maybe it's you, Johanna. Maybe you're just you need to bring more presence when you enter into the establishment.
Well, I do have presence. Like, I'm standing there waiting for them to, But yeah, it's called Saravanas, Saravanas, and they have 2. One is like on 26 and Lex, and the other one is like in the 80s on I think it's like Columbus or Amsterdam, and the one in the Upper West Side sucks because they just.
They're both Ethiopian places?
No, these are South Indian places. It's mostly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they do dosas.
I see. Okay, and as far as I'm sure this is one of yours, actually not being acknowledged when you go and sit down at a restaurant. What are some of your other pet peeves, Johanna?
Oh, I have
about food, about eating, about anything that suits you regarding the whole food situation.
So there was this one situation. We went to this place called Las Ramblas, which is very good, but very small. It's like a tapas place. And there was a waitress there, and she's like a regular waitress. And she got really touchy with my husband. And she wasn't touchy with anybody else. She like was putting her hand on the small of his back and like all this stuff in front of me, and it was just kind of uncomfortable.
No es aceptable.
No.
Now here's the question, Johanna. Did he have a problem with it?
Great question.
He definitely wasn't inviting it or like being aggressive about it.
Was he actively resisting?
He said that I was being silly. And I said she needed to get her frickin' hands off of him.
Did you say that to her?
I think that I made some sort of physical gesture to connote that she should get the F away from my husband. Yeah.
Nice.
What's the name of this place again?
Was it a middle finger? Was that the
I don't even remember. It was a different time. I was a lot less mellow about that sort of thing. So I definitely think there might have been just some sort of physical, like, like put my arm around my husband or kind of like block her or, but yeah, it's called Las Ramblas. It was like 6 or 7 years ago, like 5 or 6 years ago.
You might not be there anymore.
So you're saying she may still be working there?
I mean, the place still exists. It's very good, which is why I put up with it, because it's amazing food. But yeah, I think it's still around, and yes, she might still be around. And
Sounds like the service is perfectly fine.
Malik, what is one of your pet peeves?
So one definite issue I have with going out to eat in restaurants. Before the food arrives, I am perfectly fine having a nice, long conversation about whatever it is that you want to talk about when we're here. However, when the food is here, I'm about this food in my damn plate and it going in my stomach. Stop the conversation. We can pick it back up during when we're ordering dessert. It's perfectly fine. Just be quiet and let me enjoy my meal and enjoy my drink and relax. Okay? I do not want to hear your yapping about what happened at work. We can stop. We can put a pause button on that, and we can come back to it after we finished our meal. And the other thing, slow eaters. Please, seriously, this is not the Last Supper, okay? You're going to eat again at some point in time. Just eat your damn food the way you would, and don't sit there and like look at it or sit there and like play with it or pick at it or something like that. Eat the damn food, because more likely than not, if we're out on this date, I'm paying for it. So if you don't eat this whole damn thing, and it looks kind of bad for me to take your food home with me. So if you don't eat the whole damn thing, I'm gonna be really pissed, and we're gonna have a real big problem. So eat your food, shut your mouth, and let's enjoy it. Stop eating so slow.
Malik, I do not have a problem with any of those. I will happily do those things next time you take me out to go eat.
No problem.
Joe, what are some of your pet peeves there, buddy?
One of my pet peeves is when somebody owes you lunch and hasn't taken you to lunch. That's a pet peeve. That's one of my pet peeves.
Action Burger, Joe. The name of the place is Action Burger.
Action Burger.
We will go there. You and I, my treat.
Okay, but to get to my real pet peeves, I hate waiting around for a refill. The glass has been empty for 20 minutes. Can you come back and just ask me, would you like some more? That kind of stuff drives me crazy. The other thing that drives me really crazy, we've been done. You collected the plates like 30 minutes ago. Where's the check?
Absolutely.
That kind of stuff drives me nuts.
I know what you mean. You don't want to be looking around. Me personally, I don't even want you to talk to me. Like just refill you see my coffee's empty. Just put more coffee in it. You got free refills of Diet Soda. Give me my Diet Coke. Just fill it up.
Exactly,
don't even ask me about it. Just do it.
I shouldn't have to hold up those. What do you call those things? The airline guys use to wave planes. I shouldn't have to use those things to get your attention to refill the cup. I mean, come on.
I agree. But on the other hand, like I can't stand it. And I know, Malik, in your situation, you're not talking, but I think a lot of people, they sometimes have conversations during their meal. If I'm in the middle of a conversation, don't come up and interrupt me asking if everything's all right. If everything wasn't all right, I would be quiet and I'd be looking at you. Like, obviously things are fine. I'm in the middle of a conversation. Don't interrupt me to ask me if everything is okay, because I'll let you know when everything isn't okay. You know what I mean? Like, just leave us alone. Let us eat our food. If I'm missing something, put it on my plate. If there's something that is not in my cup, put it in my cup. Other than that, like, if I'm in the middle of a conversation, to me, that is a clear indication that I am doing okay. Everybody okay here? If I got to say that instead of having my conversation, then I'm not okay. I was okay until you came over and tried talking to me while I was in my conversation. Are you going to need change? That's another thing I can't stand. Why are you asking me if I'm going to need change? Just bring me my change, and I'll figure that out on my own. Why wouldn't I need change? Am I right? Back me up here, Johanna.
Yeah, that's one thing. We went to a new Applebee's opened up in our old neighborhood, and we went for the first time, and I think it was the last time we went together. Um, and it was like from the beginning, from like the time that we entered the door until we left, it was like every like 5 minutes. Is everything okay? How are you doing? Is everything okay? It's like I came here to talk to my family, not to you. I don't know who you are.
And
Um,
that said, I'm sure I know I personally am always very polite. I say thank you. I say please. I am very polite to the wait staff. I just feel like it's impolite to come and interrupt my conversation. You know, like to give me the check. Like just put the check there. If you're in such a rush to give me the check, then just put it there. Don't interrupt my conversation. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt your conversation, Johan.
um, Although there was, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, I went to Applebee's in the evening, and there was this very chatty waitress. Like, she was telling me about all the different kinds of combinations of different appetizers that she made, and how she all knew all the little code words for everything. And she was charming, so I think it was okay. But I can see in another context, like I was there with a couple of girlfriends and we were waiting for some of the other girls to arrive, that if it had been like a different situation, I would have been really annoyed.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing though. Like some people can pull it off. Some wait staff, like especially the older ones that have been there for a while, they know. They're like instinctual about it. They know when to come. They know when to go. That's a mark of a great waiter. Like a mark of a decent waiter is that they don't come up and ask you if everything's okay. The mark of a great waiter is that they do come up and talk to you in such a way where you're not wishing they would just leave you alone because they have interesting things to say. They are a character. And when you are in the middle of a conversation with the person you're with, then they will do back off. Yes, being a waiter is not an easy job.
No.
Don't get me wrong. I am in no way trying to disrespect waiters and waitresses, or whatever you want to call them. I think it is a tough job, and I think it's like being a teacher. You got to be doing it for at least 5 years to be any good at it.
Although
No, go ahead, Johanna.
I have a really good waitress story, actually, and I think I've told some of you guys about it. It involved my husband and I having dinner before going to see Patrick Stewart at the 92nd Street Y, and the waitress came up to us, and she was, like many wait staff are in the city, she was in acting school and all this stuff, so we were talking a little bit about that. And we were talking about Patrick Stewart, and she's like, I'm going to go see him in Waiting for Godot. I'm like, that's so freaking awesome.
I saw that. It was I enjoyed it.
I'm jealous. And all of a sudden, like, this man comes through the door, bald man, and he's talking to the hostess, and he opens his mouth, and I hear that voice, that Patrick Stewart voice. I'm like, oh my God, it's Patrick Stewart. And I tell because my husband's a bigger fan than I am, I'm like, Sean, like, turn around. And like when he saw him, he almost flipped the entire table with him. And so he only saw him disappear. Like, I had a better view of him. And the waitress came back, and she's like, let me talk to the hostess. It looks like he made a reservation. So she went and she talked to the hostess, and she came back and she said, if you guys like come here she didn't say if you guys come here. She's like, he's coming for dessert at like 9 p.m. Like, hint, 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 hint. So that was pretty helpful to us, and she wasn't like spreading that information to everybody, so it's not like she was being, that kind of person. But we ended up not meeting Patrick Stewart, but I guess we could have, and she was kind of an awesome waitress for finding that information out.
I know you have a long list, Johanna, so give me the abridged version. We don't have a lot of time. What is one thing that you just can't eat or drink anymore?
So the things that I can't eat because of allergies, so tree nuts, cherries, peaches, and...
I'm going to cut you off there, Johanna, because I got to go on for a very long time.
Can I just say one thing? Can I say one thing? Because of all the things that I can't eat, I end up indulging in the things that I can. So like chili peppers and pizza and all this stuff, like lactose. I'm lactose intolerant. I still eat it. I bring it on, and I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna die of like a perforated ulcer, because that's what my dad had, because he wouldn't stop eating chili peppers.
Joe?
Something I don't drink anymore that I used to drink a lot when I was younger. I don't know. Have you ever did you guys ever used to drink Malta at all?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just don't drink it anymore. Every once in a blue moon I may have one, but I used to drink that thing like water, like all the time, and it's just so bad for you.
Yeah.
Was there like a point when you realized I shouldn't be drinking this anymore?
Yeah, I just somewhere along the line, it just stopped. It just stopped. I just stopped buying them, and it was just
You never looked back.
just not. Yeah, just never looked back. Just not. It's not good for you, but it tastes so good ice cold.
It is
Malik-
really good.
Malik, what is one thing that you just are not touching anymore?
Big Macs. Yeah.
Big Macs.
Yeah.
Johanna's go-to at McDonald's is not your go-to at McDonald's.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna come in and it's going right out.
What happened? When did you learn your lesson?
I'd say about 2 years ago. I wasn't a heavy
Decent
Big
lesson.
Mac. Yeah, I wasn't a heavy Big Mac eater just in general, but I always, every once in a while you stop at McDonald's and get you a Big Mac. So, I'm usually used to buying my number 2, and so I decided one day, let me just go get a number 1 because I haven't done that in a while, and so I ate the Big Mac, and I had only had the Big Mac because I shared the fries with somebody else, and within about 20 minutes, it forced me to have to use a bathroom in McDonald's, and I'd never used the bathroom in McDonald's or any
Oh
freaking
my goodness.
any fast food restaurant on earth. But this time I had no choice. I absolutely had to go to the bathroom in McDonald's, and because of that, I will never eat a Big Mac again, because if it ever makes me do that again, anything that makes me do that is not coming back into my system ever.
For me, Kentucky Fried Chicken. There's this skit on The Simpsons where Homer has the hot dogs from the Quickie Mart. He has something, I think, or maybe it's like bad beef. I don't know what he eats, and he has to get taken to the hospital, and then he comes home and he just has it again, and then he's back to the hospital. I'm like, that is my story with Kentucky Fried Chicken. Kentucky Fried Chicken will one day kill me. Sometimes I have the hankering for Kentucky Fried Chicken, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe last time, and the time before that, and the time before that were just, freak accidents. And last time I had the Kentucky Fried Chicken, we got the big bucket, brought it home. Well, actually, I ate it, and then we brought it home, and I got, upset stomach. But it was in our refrigerator. And I had it again the next day, and again, upset stomach.
It's like boot and rally.
All right, we're going to wrap up with hangover cures. Mine is the Bloody Mary, classic, spicy, works for me every time. Joe, what are you having for your hangover?
For my hangover, the way you fight a hangover is you get drunk all over again, and this way. You even out the playing field, or you get some like Denzel, you get some coke, and level out the high.
You said cocaine? Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Coca-Cola. Come on, man.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yeah, cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Malik.
So not too long ago, I had my first hot toddy. I don't know if you guys had a hot totty before.
Hot toddies are awesome.
I love hot toddies, and hot toddies are perfect for hangovers for me. Anybody that knows, it's about 1.5 ounces of either whiskey, brandy, rum, whatever you want, some honey, lemon. You get some hot water, and I don't know if everyone does this, but I know that I put a tea bag in there just to kind of give it a different flavor. Put a tea bag in there. And and you can just drink it just like that. Nice, hot, warm, it's great.
All right, Johan, we got 1 minute left. What is your hangover cure?
Like fried eggs and fried potatoes and as much fried as possible, but I mean as much oil as possible in them. And the protein in the eggs makes you feel a little better, and the potatoes are a carb. And it feels good.
Huh. Okay. I
Yeah.
don't know if I'm sure I have tried that actually, because.
Well,
Next time I'll definitely give it another shot. Yeah, for me, the Bloody Mary with like a pint of water next to it, ice water. After finishing those two things, I usually feel pretty okay. All right, so that wraps up the show pretty much. Johanna, do you want to quickly hit up the audience with our social media outlets one more time? And
Sure.
guys, if you want to give your individual Twitter accounts, now would be the time for that.
Okay, so we've got agentsofhome.com. You can listen to the podcast, watch our raw YouTube footage, read articles about entertainment stuff and how we're all going to die, access our Twitter feed, and then we are the Agents of Helm on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and Tumblr. You can find us on iTunes and leave us a review. If you leave us a review, we'll read it on the show. And here's time for some individual Twitter shout-outs. You can find me at Inky Octopus. Malik?
I am at Mr. Nick 147.
Joe?
I'm at Jam9270.
And Lorenzo?
I am Renzo, and I think it's R3NZ0, R3NZ0. Yeah, we're up on there. We got that Pinterest. So if you guys want to just hit us up, that is cool. I think you can find us easily. So I think what Johanna is trying to tell you people is that if you got something to say, we have the means to listen, and you will be heard.
And then also she's saying if you are a waitress, don't fondle her husband.
Don't talk to her too much.
Don't talk to her too much, and let her know when Patrick Stewart's in the building.
I will
Words
find
to live by. Words to live by. With that, we are closing out the show. I want everybody to say goodbye. And Joe, take us out. Not sure what that means. But,
bye and later.
All right, later, everybody.
See you next time.
See ya.
Say goodbye, Malik.
I said peace. And chicken grease. And chicken grease because we're doing a food episode.
We're doing a food show.
Peace and chicken grease. Let's do that.